happy with it being on here.
No. There's a Muppets movie slice, so you can just shut your mouth.
There's some really good movies. You're way outvoted on that one.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it.
I know you're tired of it, but you're gonna.
Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, because you picked a shitty category like movies post 2010.
Yeah,
So is that
perfect.
2011 onwards?
Yes. Well,
That's such a
2010
broad
be
fucking
on.
category.
Okay, that's fine.
But it says movies post 2010, so it'd have to be 2011 afterwards. It could.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
2010 was a good year, but
2010 was a great
2011 and after is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could also have just been like this year specifically.
2010
not
on.
like anything.
I would
past
much
this
rather
year.
it be that one.
No,
just picking a year.
Yes. 1 year, that's still a lot of movies.
I mean, it is.
Well, it depends on what year you're talking about here. Some of those 80s years are like Breakfast Club.
No
or
one's going
Yeah,
before
that's
the
true.
90s. That's
Weird
the point.
Science. Yeah, we should.
No one's picking
Nobody.
Bruh. Zone in on those boobs.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's happening with this.
Is the
Oh, we're recording. This is recording. I mean, we're ready to go.
Are you sure the mic is on?
Absolutely.
Nice.
I mean,
I
I'll
was say
get
that's
up.
on you if so.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get up and double check. Yeah,
Because we're going to need the audio for this one.
Yeah. You know in Tomb Raider when she's like the boobs are kind of blocky, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Yeah.
the really pointy ones.
Yeah.
The PS1 ones, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm getting a little vibes on that. This feels like Sin City,
Yeah. Yeah. It does
I think I could have drawn this game.
which is another movie that should be on here at some point. Jessica Alba slices. Let's get those on going.
No, we already had Sucker Punch. I feel like that's the same thing.
This is such a terrible movie.
I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Glad you did.
That was fun.
Kelly and I detested it.
Kelly is just mad because I would have looked better than those girls in half of those outfits.
That's true.
You probably would have.
Well, wait.
Let's get some wasp and sting your lips a bunch of
Oh,
times,
yeah.
and then they'll look like the main
Don't
girls.
you dare talk about Emily Browning like that.
Yeah.
Stay off
She's
of her.
a saint. You
She
show some
is.
respect.
I'm in a crazy house.
Anyway.
Alright, but everyone goes crazy for Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
That's
shit.
Margot Robbie. I don't
Oh,
care if
fine.
she's in mud wearing a
They're
Barbie
the exact
outfit.
same person.
She is gonna be gorgeous.
They are the same people in these two movies.
You are
Yeah.
insane.
They really
Yeah, they
are.
serve the
There's-
same role. I'll
They're
give
Oh,
a
it to them. I'll
similar
give them
kind
that.
of character.
Same
Yeah.
role, but totally different looks. Like I don't.
No, I'm not saying they look the same.
I
I'm
don't
saying
find
they are
Harley
the
Quinn
exact-
Right.
attractive. I find Margot Robbie attractive.
And I find whatever the girl's name is
We're-
Sucker Punch.
You're
We're
insane.
good
She's gonna
time-wise
suck
and
your
everything.
face off with those lips,
Welcome!
like a trout.
God! That's Nathan. I know you're not gonna edit any of that.
Cats are
Oh.
adorable.
I'm just interested in how much of the beginning of this film I'm gonna leave in.
People,
Oh,
people are gonna
boy.
be like 3 minutes in and be
Yeah.
like, "Weren't they talking about a Super Trooper?"
As it turns out, welcome to the F Movie Podcast, where we actually are supposed to be reviewing Super Troopers 4 more minutes later into this.
And Trout.
And Trout.
Saying,
What?
Grilling trout is the best way to have it. Still flaky, still has its flavor.
We're not here to talk about that, Brian. Get your deer
I'd
meat.
love to. Ooh, I love venison though.
Anyways.
Backstrap. If you grill that, that's good stuff.
Elk.
That's.
Elk is a little bit more like.
What about kangaroo?
Undercooked.
Yes.
You can get kangaroo in Cincinnati.
You gotta undercook the elk.
Okay,
Otherwise,
kangaroo.
it's no good.
I've never had kangaroo. I have had dragon though.
You can get kangaroo at up in like Cincinnati. There's a place that client was telling me about recently. It's like
Is it the Cincinnati Zoo?
yeah,
I'm sure you can walk into the enclosures and pet the
probably
kangaroos.
Cincinnati. They don't give a shit.
What happened
up
to your
here.
arm, by the way?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a long story. I'll tell you later.
All right,
Do it
tell
now.
Tell us in the credits. No, shut up. Shut up. That's yeah. Can we do the?
Yeah, let's
you know
just
that
start
edit
over.
where it's just like boop and then it actually
No.
cut.
No.
You're not gonna do it.
No
You're right.
editing.
There's no editing. That's Nathan. He edits, except he doesn't. This is Bryce. He podcasts, but he doesn't. This is Mason. He's talking about trout. I'm Dylan. I'm the only host here tonight. It seems. And this is the Super Troopers review. But before we get to that, what's our visuals on the screen, Nathan?
We are watching This Is the Police.
I'm glad you said watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say watching because I have no idea what this game is going to
It
be.
does not look comedic in the slightest.
It looks very story driven, but you know it's the only game I had that seemed police related. So
You
here
have
we
a
are.
LA Noir.
We already did
Yeah,
that
but we
one.
already
Yeah, I already did it though.
Oh,
So.
do
Yeah,
it
we
again.
can't do that.
We did golf a bunch of times.
No, we didn't.
No, we did Pirates of the
No, we
Caribbean.
did that
and was
once.
Do we need to do it again?
No. We can't
Always.
break the rule, Price.
I mean, maybe we could do that again. Sometime.
Yeah.
As soon as we do a golfing movie, which
We'll do Muppet Treasure Island.
I've
Just
got
do
just the one.
Caddyshack. and-
If it's
Caddyshack. I've never seen it.
I don't
Love
know.
to see it.
Disney
Whoa.
has a really good
Never
one.
seen it.
Okay.
Would love to see it too.
The greatest game
you
ever
all,
played.
Are you all just as surprised that he's never seen Caddyshack?
Yeah,
Doesn't that
that's-
seem like the kind of movie that Price would have watched?
Yeah, that's a
Price not seeing that. It's not that surprising.
Oh,
to me.
basically being
It's
contrarian here.
It's old. It is an
It's
all-black
old.
cast, so...
It is not.
No, it's not.
Got that one really old white guy, that Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm
No
wo-
respect. How
I'm
you not
woke
gonna know
now.
Rodney Dangerfield?
I am woke.
Okay. All right. So we've been derailing for
So-
the last 15 minutes.
All right.
What are we here to talk about?
We're here to talk about Super Troopers. Begin.
We spun the wheel last week,
We did.
and it landed on Super Troopers, which
Last
is one
week.
of Dylan's
Yeah.
picks.
So, I'll just fucking tell about what this movie's about. All right.
Yeah.
So
let's do it.
you got the Super Troopers. They're not superheroes. They're just highway patrol guys, and they're doing their best to keep their station because city police keep trying to take their budget and people they're pulling over. But whenever they pull people over, hijinks ensue. All these guys are really, they have little fun games they like to play, to fuck around with them, fuck around with the police.
The meow.
Occasionally get into a
that's-
brawl.
yes.
It's so good. There's so many. Listen, I will probably talk about every single game that they've played in this one because I have watched this movie a painful amount of times. It's not painful. It's actually delightful. I fucking love this movie.
I love to do the meow, and then he's
Mm.
holding up the 9.
Let's just leap into it.
Which also, that's Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah,
In
I
case
love those
anybody
Jim
I
didn't
forgot that that was
recognize
him.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
definitely
way
Jim
early.
Gaffigan. Yeah.
I love that, like, in that scene, you literally see Mac just, like, belly laughing in the background as he's doing it.
Gonna go ahead and say, like, Mac is
Mac's the star.
by far the best one in this movie.
Who?
On the first watch, Mac, the guy who wears the cup and gets the...
Oh, yeah.
He's
awesome.
by far the best.
Yeah, he's incredible.
And the large guy is by far the most annoying.
Farva?
Like,
Farva?
not funny.
Oh, dude,
It's
see
like,
that?
I understand he's being typecast here,
Right.
but still, his character is not enjoyable. Like, I get that he's like the boob, and he takes things too serious.
he's the
it's
loose
the funny-
cannon.
so-
he's
yeah.
the one that'll always get into trouble.
Here's the funny thing about Farva to me, is that I'm with you. Like, the first 10 watches of this, Mac and, like, Thorny tend to be my favorites on this one.
Ranathorn.
Right around 11 onwards, I started finding Farva really fucking funny. On, like, later watches,
You're insane.
I start finding him endearing, and it's just, like...
I like him.
Yeah.
He's definitely not like the best one,
No.
but
He's not meant to be
He's not
likable,
supposed to
but
be.
you find him funnier as it
I
goes.
think
At
he
least I
exists
did.
to actually try and create some kind of plot and conflict.
Right.
in what is otherwise just a like silly romp comedy.
Oh, it totally is.
Yeah.
I want to talk into the technicals really quick about this because it was something I noticed on this watch, trying to be in that, like, I guess critical mindset instead of just being like a movie that I've just watched without even thinking about it. And I really appreciated the pacing of the scenes where in a lot of comedies it feels like the joke just drags on too long. And Super Troopers I felt was very good. It was like, not so much here's the setup, here's the joke, here's it, and then it's out. It was just like, here's the perfect situation, there's the lines, and then next. And it's already on to, like, the next scene and building with it.
it was a
Well,
series
well,
of
yeah.
scenes.
Right.
And building, I think, is a good point too,
Mhm.
because there's so many like little things that'll happen that just keep
Yeah, the little
recurring,
tensing
like
cues.
the German couple.
Yeah.
They just keep showing up in scene after scene with them in like more and more ridiculous situations.
right.
Because they're swingers, and like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
said that earlier on
And they
in the
teased that
thing,
with
and then they're actually swinging with the German couple.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Or sorry, go ahead.
But my thing about it is, like, even though, like, I mean, I do agree, like, the jokes don't stay too long, it feels like, and again, I already know the counter argument, I'll go through it, but it feels like the scenes are built around the joke, whereas the movie, like Nathan just said, is kind of trying to have a plot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're having a plot, but they're trying to fit these jokes in. Like, they wrote the joke, then they're like, how do we fit this into the movie? How do we get this into the plot?
Yeah.
And it kind of felt jilted to me a little bit that, like, it just didn't flow super well to me.
Here's where I will say that there's a movie similar to this that I know that you like that I think does the exact same thing,
Mhm.
and that's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
That's
where
a
I think-
skit-based movie, though.
Well,
It's
so
in a
this
sense,
is not
it's
like
still
a
a
skit-based
plot.
movie.
Also
Yeah,
a
it's-
fairly skit-based movie
still a
that
plot.
has a thin veneer of a plot pulling
Right.
it along the whole way.
Mhm.
No, I
And
see your
has the
point.
recurring
I mean,
characters and everything. I
it
mean,
has
I
the
just,
modern
to me,
storytelling
it
of
does
that same
seem a
stuff.
very similar story.
No, I agree. And
Or well, structure, not story,
Broken Lizard,
obviously.
for background on, like, the cast of it, are originally all, like, stage performers, things like that, and, like, in that, so, like, they're a comedy group by nature, and they just went into the movie productions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like, the cast is almost, like, all the casts are also all writers in that, and, like, they're all, like, they're playing in their own parts with it. Which I think is just really cool as, like, behind the scenes, like, creating a comedy on that one. And that probably happens a lot more than I'm giving credit for, but I don't know, in Will Ferrell movies, I just think that it's, like, Will Ferrell in a room telling writers what to write half the time.
I'm going to play the man-child.
Right, or like you can tell when him and John C. Reilly have too much creative control. Looking at you, Sherlock Holmes, like,
Did
and
you watch it?
no, but from what I could see on the trailer,
I didn't either.
I could tell. So,
Yeah,
there's just, and I like that further behind the scenes stuff, like they've said that
Terrible game.
we will write the
Not
parts. Yeah. We'll write the parts and we'll give them to other people, so we're not feeling like our character's taking up all like the best banter and joke and stuff like that. Like, cause Farva, like the guy who plays that, like, which I think is just funny. Like, he's one of like the main writer dudes in that one, and he's just like, no, give me this role. Like, yeah, like I think all of the jokes need to fall onto this character, so like I got this one, and then that shifts up for in between each of their movies. But Beer Fest was their other really super big one that really stuck out.
Oh yeah.
Club Dread.
Club Dread
Beer
as well.
Fest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not seen Club Dread.
Dude, Club Dread is awesome.
Club Dread.
Yeah.
It's really like
Yeah.
a slasher comedy sort of like
Mhm.
I don't
Be a
know.
good Halloween pick for a
It
different.
is actually.
but,
It's actually really good. I don't know.
Right, but anyways, to that point, Price pointing out and saying that it felt like the jokes were in that. And I was looking for that too because I knew that was going to be the discussion that came up after Monty Python and even Step Brothers as well. I pretty much roughly said the same thing about Step Brothers. I said that the scenes were more so about the joke setup and then building from there. But that being said, I still
Step Brothers had a stronger story.
Right, it has more of a human
too,
element,
though.
but I think that when I'm looking at those two, they are kind of wrote and built in the same way for the comedy. But I think I just appreciated Super Troopers pacing a little bit more versus Step Brothers because they tend to linger in their jokes.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Right,
Like Step
yeah.
Brothers lingers on those jokes, and
Yes.
like the scenes are longer in Step Brothers. And thankfully those jokes hit for me because if they didn't, extending that scene because I've watched like the director's cut of Step Brothers before and did not like it. Like they
Yeah.
extend some scenes, like some jokes they think are funny and they
Isn't
are
like
not.
the ketchup scene like way longer? or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
way
that?
longer.
Yeah.
And there's one where like near the end where like John C. Reilly and the wife of Adam Scott are like having sex like on the table in front of everybody. And everybody's like, "Oh,
Catherine
I
Hahn.
can't see anything. Like I don't know if they're having sex." And she's like, "It's not funny."
Yeah.
Like they extended the jokes too long, but thankfully they cut it out. But back to Super Troopers, there definitely is a difference in comedy there. Like Step Brothers is longer and this is shorter.
It actually amazed me that this movie had such a plot. Like with all of the
Yeah.
scenes being like as just I don't know.
Skit based and
Skit based
right.
and just you're
Yeah.
looking for a laugh with every single scene. And I think that the plot was just enough to kind of propel it towards the end where like they were about to lose their job, they were about to get shut down, they were about to have to transfer, they have to be, and like they just kind of kept for the whole time too, like with like Farva and like the whole pacing thing, like Rabbit saw a joke, then he wanted to do that joke, and then that put Farva back into play. But guess what? Farva's a loose cannon cop, and then
Right.
he just got right back into the radio dispatch.
The part I loved the most about Farva definitely was when he was ordering at
Liter
the
of cola.
fast
I
food
I want a
place.
goddamn liter of cola.
And he's just like, damn it! And then he goes up and tackles
Burger
him.
Pook! Piece of shit. Yeah, dude. Like, that's the scene right there that I'm like, rewatches that. I'm won over by Farva, right? Because it's just like, yes, he's so fucking annoying and like frustrating on like the first handful of watches because he's, again, like that's his job as the character he is. He's
Just-
the antagonist.
Does his hamburger like have spit in it?
Yeah.
Ah, screw
Ah,
it.
fuck. Yeah. But I love whenever they're sitting there and they just keep referencing Farva's loose cannon moments. It was just like, yeah, something about a bus full of school children. And he's just like,
Did you see like the scene from it?
yeah, there's like,
Yeah, it's like after the
I think it's like after the movie and
After
like
the
the
credits.
credits, right? And it's
I
it's like him
I
at a
should've told
bus
you
or something
guys.
like that, and it's like him holding the gun at it or something. I forget, it's something like that. I didn't.
Well, he's
rewatch that
pulling
scene.
over the bus driver, and it's
Right.
full of kids, and I think they just like throw stuff at him or
Yeah.
something, and he loses it. on the
Right, like
bus.
he goes off on the bus scene with it. But I love whenever they're showing. It's fucking O'Hagan, and he's watching the footage with him in the like thing, and you see him just like rewinding on him eating burgers on him.
Oh yeah.
He's just quiet the entire time. Rewinds it again.
The best part with Farva though was the shenanigans part.
Oh, easily.
That-
I love
that
it.
Somebody
shit-
says shenanigans
One more
time.
I'm gonna pistol whip the next.
This movie has a few quotes and a few words that
Oh, yeah.
20 years from now, if you say those words, my mind goes to Super Troopers.
Yep.
Shenanigans is one of them.
I know
Farva
that.
is another.
Yeah.
Schnozberries.
Schnozberries taste like
Schnozberries.
schnozberries.
I've been playing League with this guy for like 5 or 6 years, and I don't know why. All the time he'll always go littering and
Yes.
littering and. I'm like, why does he say this all
All
the
right,
time?
I'm gonna tap
Now
in
you
real
know.
quick.
Yes.
Finally got it.
So at the intro to this movie is maybe one of the best intros of all time of any movie ever.
It's so good.
It is so stupid good.
Yeah.
Like the whole, I don't know, just obviously you got those Vermont boys that are trying to just smoke some weed. And like the whole pulling over, I was about to pop a cap in that cop's ass. Pull over. He's already pulled over. Oh my god, the best like 6 minutes of cinema ever.
It is
thrown into the beginning of this.
I smile through the intro of this every single fucking time, just because I know
it's really
every
good.
little decision that's made in that. Like the things that I find are less funny now is just like seeing the guy in the back like trip out a little bit because like that, and you can tell like this isn't above and beyond acting for most of the.
See, I thought he was being a bit reserved for what he could have been. I thought he was going to be
eating a whole bag
nuts,
of weed and then doing that, right?
Like acting bonkers, but he really didn't. And the only time he really showed it too much, which I thought was hilarious, was like the next scene when like they're in the back of the police car and he's just like licking the bag out the window, like subtly, like they're not drawing attention to it. He's just licking, and I was dying laughing.
Mac jumps in there. He was like Mexico.
I think the soundtrack is a good use of this one too. It ages it like it's very much like the oh this is a 2000s too.
Yeah. Well, so much of this movie is gonna date it. Like the way that the female character on the police force is handled, Ursula. Everything about her makes it seem like it is the product of
misogynistic.
Incredibly misogynistic in a way that you would not see at all in film anymore.
Very written for her time, which is interesting seeing like that role really evolve in like Super Troopers 2, where they clearly were going for a more modernized thing with that, but we're not here to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my god, dude, I could pick a scene and I'll just talk about how much I fucking love it. Like there's
the only thing
or hates for that. Right.
I was gonna say
sounds like 2 hates.
Yeah. No. I was just gonna say, like, you know, as far as picking a scene, the beer scene at the end, that is a really great scene. Because that has you, like, that also has the audience in the blind too for so much of it.
Yeah.
For just that sudden twist of like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, we're the cops still.
Oh yeah. The very last scene on that one.
And one twist that like I think that you could see coming maybe from a mile away is the who were the people in black? They weren't the highway patrol, but they kept calling them the locals.
Oh, they're Spurbury police.
Yeah, Spurbury, so the city police. Okay. The city police being in on the whole drug cartel thing, like I don't know that you could see it from a mile away, but rewatching this, I hadn't seen it in probably 5 years or so. Rewatching it, I was like, there's something with them, and I don't know that they're actually in on it.
Yeah.
But so maybe I was just a little bit.
Does it matter though?
It doesn't, but like the whole scene at the end with like, the big reveal,
Ew,
the hugging the guy,
Gallinakus.
Like that part was a little bit meh for me, but it's still such a good movie. Through and through, top to bottom.
You're not watching this for the plot. I think that matters none.
But were you not like a little disappointed when like they didn't get the bust, the bear fucking thing?
How'd you feel about the bear fucker scene?
Yeah.
I was like, as I rewatched it, I was just like, this feels like a scene that is so Price's Alley, and I'm like, I need to get a steak.
Well, like that whole thing was such a good plan.
I know.
That was the most
I know it's illegal.
Right. No, it was the most attention to detail. You're absolutely right.
They put more thought into that entire plan, and then it didn't pan out. Like they still didn't get the good guys, or they still didn't get the bad guys.
Well, and that's also, at that point, it's like you do find out shortly after. Well, they knew exactly where the drugs were.
Yeah.
It was their RV.
It was they already had it in their possession.
The two Spurbury cops staring at it, and they're just small banter before then. And it's just like, is the bear well, what are we gonna do? Well, I know it's not illegal, Jimmy. I know that.
Then he kept saying, "Sir, are you in danger?"
Oh yeah.
And then he wouldn't answer. He's like, "Bear fucker,
bear fucker." And I like seeing for me, it's like looking at all the small stuff away from like the focus, like on rewatches, and you're seeing just people laughing,
like
in
the crowd.
Right, it's just extras, like clearly not even holding it together. Like it's just like them laughing at it. Oh my god. Farva naked in the showers. So.
Y'all are doing exactly what you all hate about when I pick comedies.
All right.
You're doing exactly that. You're like,
I only want to point out.
Remember when?
I only want to point out. My boy Farva hung dong in this movie.
He did hang dong.
And that will be reflected in the score.
I know, and there was tits in it. So
and there was tits in it.
Yeah. They were about as plastic as this board.
Yeah, they were.
Were they there?
Yippee-ki-yay,
I forgot there was 3 girls in this movie.
Yeah, I know.
3 total.
feels like there should have been a lot less.
And one of them showed boob.
Yep. 33% of the female cast.
Yeah.
Hey, I respect it.
Yeah.
But.
Okay, give me something more technical to chew on. Not remember wins. Yeah.
Technical.
Yeah, hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a good question.
This movie isn't trying to go for incredible.
As far as you were saying, like the jokes landing, did these jokes land for you?
Yeah. I mean that's the bigger question.
Definitely, I was laughing like most of the movie. Kayla was like already like she was already super tired and she wanted to watch it with me, but she fell asleep and I was still laughing to myself.
Yeah.
During it, I definitely did enjoy it.
Would you guys? Can I do the question?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Hit the question.
If you were the rookie, would you make it in that crew? Would you want to stick around? Or would you just be like, nah, I think I'm good?
Also, he doesn't get hazed that badly.
No.
Like,
the locker is about the worst he
all
gets.
the hazing just goes to Fargo.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
You're the rookie, and maybe they're going to mess with you a little bit, but it's all very lighthearted, and it's not as bad as, the actual heel of the movie.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I'm with it. I definitely feel like that's one where I can just you got to pay your dues a little bit and stuff like that.
Yeah. And also, I mean, you're joining like such a crew of just cut-ups and clowns. Like
exactly,
they're gonna keep it light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
At worst, you're gonna have to pay the tab every now and again whenever they don't do the catch,
or ultimately, I mean, being a part of that department, you're probably gonna lose your job.
Yeah.
No, it's just a matter of when.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know if we've all had this experience, but if you've worked at a job where you're like, this place is going under, like it's it's on the clock.
It's a lot like the movie Waiting.
Yeah,
exactly. You're part of that restaurant staff,
right?
Where you're just like, we're gonna get shut down.
Yeah, and you feel like you're just like, I'm here for a fun time. I'm not here for a long time, and you just kind of embrace that. I think that's so much of the fun of it. But Bryce, do you endure the locker and the mustache hate?
Do you stick around?
Yeah. Wait, am I Farva? I thought I was the rookie.
You're the rookie, but I mean, you're still getting shoved in a locker.
No, there's no long-term plan
in
this place.
Yeah, they covered Farva and Sugar.
There's not a long-term plan at this place. I want stability in my career. This is not stability.
Yeah, Spurbury Police.
Yeah, and especially with police, like the reputations get around and stuff.
Yeah.
If you say you come from this place, you're not landing somewhere.
Hey, say what we will, I didn't see one racist act from this police office, this police crew.
Oh,
no racial beatdown.
No racial beats down.
They called Ramathorn Indian.
Well, that was Spurbury.
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, to be fair, O'Hagan did say like, "Hey, what's that in Middle Eastern names?" What would I know? But you're gonna expect that from old cops and stuff like that. That's par for the course, though.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say I think the worst thing about being on this is having to do syrup drinking contest against Ramathorn during that time. Okay, I know I'm just setting it up to sit there and say, remember that time, but the fucking syrup drinking.
You are!
It's so funny. Yeah. Dude, I love this movie.
Well, they were from Vermont. They really pushed that envelope a lot.
Yeah, they were very open about it.
It was still good. It was just, I don't know. I don't think I've had no intentions of going to Vermont.
I think it's it makes you wonder if they didn't just set it in Vermont just so the kids couldn't have the line, yeah, we're gonna go across the border to get some French fries and gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was just like, that's the main thing that really sets it in, and I'm like, this movie could have been anywhere else, like, to be totally honest, but...
It was really silly. One of my favorite lines in this movie, and it's so subtle, and it's the very beginning. Ramathorn is, like, grilling those three in the cop car, or in the car, and he's like, Rat, you smell something? And he goes, fear. And it's just the dumbest thing in the world, but it gets me every time.
Yeah.
Alright,
we won't do any
more.
I'm
done. That was mine.
We did do it the whole time.
Remember Ramroll?
Bryce, there are times where I feel like you channel your inner Farva though, because that scene. Now that we're talking about that scene, oh, that's stupid. For $20, I'll call him a chicken fucker. And I was like, that's a Price thing to do. Like, I just don't know how to explain it better than that. If you know, you know. But
$20 is $20.
Yeah.
$20 is $20.
I would love to break down any of the technicals and stuff like it, but this really isn't a movie that particularly shines in like cinematography or sound editing or anything like that. I mean, I really wish I could meet you on that technical level there, Price, but it's not. And
it's a comedy, yeah. I'm just pointing out that when we do my comedies, y'all are like, we only do Remember When, blah, 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 blah.
Fair.
And then somebody else picks a comedy, and everybody's like, like blah 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 blah.
Have you tried to pick a comedy we all find funny? Then that's the trouble.
The fact that y'all did not enjoy Step Brothers and did not like Monty Python, I don't know. I throw my hands up.
We enjoyed
we said Step Brothers was fine, and we had a nice, healthy talk about it.
Yes, that was a good,
wholesome
talk.
See, he's always trying to twist the
Monty
narrative.
Python, however,
Monty Python,
Monty Python is hilarious. You all are insane.
You
don't understand Foxcatcher. You're not gonna like Monty
Python. Oh my God! Shut up, Price. Shut up.
Wait for that wheel to spin, and we land on Baby Driver, I imagine, and then we just move on.
Yep.
I Am Legend's not getting picked, Mason.
Not in this year.
It's never getting picked.
Not in this calendar year. Mason, go ahead and give your score.
Score? Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned Step Brothers, because this movie, a lot like Step Brothers, a lot like Superbad, a lot like, I don't know, it's another prolific comedy. Something that's just going to stick with everybody.
Some like it hot.
Yeah, I agree.
Popstar. Yep, you named it.
Popstar.
Wow.
I forgot I made you all watch it. That's one of my first picks.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, and you were
that was
like
really
excited
dumb.
for us.
Yeah,
you never seen Hot Rod.
Right.
Like, that movie was better. Anyways.
Yeah, I agree.
Anchorman.
So, Super
Hot
Troopers, I think, is just one of those crazy popular comedies that you're not going to get away with not watching at some point. And it's gonna be around till the end of the days, and I give it all the credit that it deserves. I think that it is.
But it's a comedy.
Better than Step Brothers, personally.
Yeah.
It is better than Step Brothers.
Mason's gonna.
I'm gonna give it a 9. This movie.
Whoa!
This movie is so good.
Yeah.
And
What?
All of the jokes are so funny.
But that's a comedy. Tall Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Oh.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, Super Troopers, so freaking good, and all of these jokes, all of the scenes are great. You know, we even skipped over like the baseball scene. That didn't matter.
No.
But like it's
Baseball
not
scene.
The one with the big fucking cotton
the
candy.
the cotton candy.
Enjoy sugar heaven.
Hey, move that gigantic cotton candy.
And then the slugging her in the face.
Right. Yeah.
Like that part, like it still sticks out. It's not as funny as all the rest of the parts, but the cup scene with Mac. I mean everything. What's his name? Lieutenant, the main guy, the sergeant.
Ramathorn?
No,
Are you talking O'Hagan?
The shenanigans. Yeah, O'Hagan.
Oh,
yeah.
He's like, but back in my day,
We
we
used
used blanks.
Yeah.
Do we have the
Crazy asshole.
Do we have the
Yeah,
button?
it's like you sick fucks.
Yeah,
or
you sick
something.
fucks.
Do we have the button?
Do we have the button? Yeah, we have the
I don't
button.
think it works.
Let's see.
That's okay.
All right.
I wouldn't touch
Oh,
it.
why you?
No, I'm thinking there could be a possibility here.
I'm not gonna show
All right,
you.
go ahead, Nathan,
Let's-
with your score.
I
I give it
Oh,
a 9.
Yeah.
all right.
Okay,
We're
so
hopping.
yeah, this is a really good comedy. It's definitely showing its age at this point, but still, it makes me laugh through almost every scene. There's not any scene that I could think that you would reference that I'd be like, that one
Could have done
that
without
funny.
that one.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like they're all pretty solid. So, yeah, I mean, as comedies go, this is probably one of the best comedies it's definitely one of the best comedies we've watched. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Nice.
Bunch of bullshitters on here.
Pick a
I
good
serve
movie.
up Step Brothers, Monty Python, Tim and Eric.
That's it.
That's literally it. Yeah.
But going into this, I thought I was gonna give it a 6, and unfortunately, I fell victim to the thing that you all talk about all the time. You're like, you do those remember wins, and then you remember how funny it was, and like, well, it did make me laugh consistently through the whole movie. I did enjoy it. I mean, there's nothing technical about it. It was short, which I definitely appreciated.
Yes.
Like, it does not overstay its welcome at all. It is a very fit movie.
The
Yeah,
story is literally this department's getting shut down.
I wish
And, like, it's so
I
fun.
wish that the plot just really wasn't there. Like, I wish it was more like Monty Python, where like it's kind of in the background, but you're like more here. The plot matters just a little too much for my liking. I mean, just a little, not much at all, not enough to bother me. But I'm actually gonna go to 7.5. I really enjoyed this movie. As much as I would love to spite these guys and be like, you don't know what I like. It was funny. It was funny. I watched it like 15 times. That's a bit much, but
Like this year.
but it still is very enjoyable. And as Mason said, that first scene is hilarious.
Yes.
If it doesn't,
I was
you are
dying
doomed.
laughing.
Like,
Right.
You might as
Yeah.
well turn the damn thing off.
Yeah.
If by the time he speeds off with the 3 in the back seat, you're done.
The reason I'm not going above a 7.5 is just because the rewatchability isn't really for me. Like I might watch it like 5 years from now and still get a good laugh out of it. But
we're watching it Sunday. I don't know what you're talking about.
To go like above 8 for me, like I want to rewatch it like yearly or something like that. Like it's a movie that I really really like, and this one almost is there, but I'm not gonna rewatch it probably anytime soon.
Yeah. So I've always said that 8.5 is a big giant wall for my scores, and it has to have that rewatchability. It has to still consistently be good. I'm still finding new things that I appreciate and like about the movies afterwards. So it again, this is a movie I've watched maybe even triple digits amounts of times at this point. So it definitely goes over that. And figuring out where it lands over 8.5 is the hard part. As much as Price would love me to hit the 10, it's not a 10.
No!
Delete the 1-0.
I know, sorry
guys. I thought
guys.
It was!
It's so good.
Just because it's not a critically acclaimed movie, it doesn't have to be that to be a 10.
It's nothing about that. So
you've watched it like 80 times.
Here it is. Here it is for it, right? So this is one of my favorite movies. It's easily in my top 10, maybe top 5. I really have to make this list eventually. As far as like all-time favorite movies, it's my unequivocal favorite comedy. Like it's not even.
We should do a podcast like that sometime.
What
like just like our top 10 like personal favorite movies. We should do that sometime.
We can, but we can just not name it top 10 because there's a podcast named Top 10 that already does that. But
no, I'm talking about one single podcast.
Oh, like as an episode thing.
Yeah,
that'd be fine. Yeah.
No, not a whole. No.
Right, it's like let's just not make that a premise idea. But anyway, so yeah, it's unconditionally my favorite comedy, hands down. I find it funny every single time I watch it. Mm-hmm. And on rewatches it does that. But if you ask me, is it the perfect movie? No. I mean, again, it is the perfect comedy to me. But when it comes into, are we talking about things that are like epic or grand or makes me feel anything other than humor and stuff like that? No, it doesn't have an incredible amount of depth. The characters aren't particularly like deep, make me think movies. This is a movie that I could put on the background and enjoy just as much as staring at it straight forward and watching it from start to finish with as much intention. Which I would argue is a strength, but it just doesn't have the depth that I would think pushes it into a 10 for me, where I'm like, it just makes me think a little bit more, and this movie is not that. And as age goes on, I'm curious to see, like, where this movie will continue to still land. I think for 19 years later, it's still doing pretty damn good in its humor. None of it feels, like, way too inappropriate or PC, just more of the character's development. Anyway, that long rant aside, I have to put this at a solid 9.5.
Yeah.
Dang. Yep.
Just so close.
It is so close with it, but it lacks just some of that ambience of being a perfect movie, Like, I go to my way to defend Jurassic Park, and yeah, even Inception, there's some animals who would disagree with me on that one.
I would.
But I will talk at you with my arguments for those ones. I would not go out of my way to say this is a perfect movie, but for me, it's just about as close as you get for as much as I just will love a movie, start to finish. Almost every minute is fine. Literally, we've mentioned 20 different scenes, and I love talking about literally every single one of them. The repeater one, I just love when they open the scene where they open the truck, and he's like, it's the second time I got herpes.
Yeah. Soap, I think.
Yeah. So I love it, but I can't say it's perfect, but it's just about as close as it gets for me. 9.5.
What you just said about like comedies and stuff, that's why I like Fantastic Mr. Fox, my favorite, because it's not just a laugh track of just things that are like my stomach is hurting at the end. It's wholesome characters. It's like a wholesome plot. It's fun. Right. It makes you feel good. It's heartwarming. Like all those things. So I get what you mean.
If it had a little bit of more of that, I'd put it to a 10. And I love the characters, but the characters are just as much devices for jokes and written. Right. It's not like Rabbit is particularly deep, and Mac or Foster's romance is particularly. Thorny maybe, but he's the director, so that would track as far as stuff goes. Yeah.
Tell you, Fantastic Mr. Fox, the more I watch that, the more I would probably increase my score right now than whenever I gave it. I'm telling you, I love it. I've seen it like 3 times now.
Dang.
I really
just put
like
it on
that movie.
Disney Plus on the background or something?
Yep.
Dang.
No, I watch it. Like, I sit there and watch it. I really like that movie.
Yeah, he says, shut up, Kelly.
That son, the son character, whatever his name is, I could watch him all day.
Ash.
I love him.
Ash is a great
Still my favorite scene is like where he puts Kristoff under the thing or whatever. It's like, here, a lot of attitude in this room right now.
A lot of attitudes in this house. Yeah. Don't let me get one. And plus, did you guys hear real quick about the Netflix Ronald Dahl contract? The Willy Wonka. Ronald Dahl's made all of those.
I don't know who Ronald Dahl is. Is he kin to McDonald?
Yep. No. Ronald McDonald Dahl.
Yeah.
All right, let's spin it. Nathan?
That's probably one of our highest average movies right there.
Oh, yeah. As it should be.
It's been.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was going to comment is this might be one of the highest rated movies.
You had nothing negative to say.
I did not drop it down this time.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say the Russian judge didn't.
I know. He didn't go more.
Simon Cowell didn't take it.
Right. But if this was a Russian movie, 10.
No, I did enjoy it.
Spin.
Oh, Nathan's spinning it for once.
Yep.
We can get a change up here.
Will.
Tell me when I Am Legend gets landed on it.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Nathan. It is I Am Legend! Mason wins!
Way to call it.
I just said it's never gonna be big.
12 minutes ago, you said that.
I knew as soon as you said that, I'm like, he's trying to juju it, but I think it's gonna work. And sure enough.
Hell yeah.
Well, there we go.
There you go. Mason has been waiting so fucking long.
I was going to call in sick on the next podcast, but now I'm going to be here.
Every little thing's gonna be alright.
It's Bob Marley. I can't remember his speech, but it's good.
Yeah. Come watch Will Smith, John Wick, his dog, and I Am Legend next week.
Shrek is in the movie.
What?
It is in the movie, and he does John Wick his own dog.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, man.
Make sure to tune in next week. If you liked all that content we just rambled on about for however long this was, less than an hour and a half, which was the movie runtime, make sure to let us know in the comments what you liked. If you think that this movie is hilarious, if you agree with Price, it's a 7, and it shouldn't be any more than that. Because it's not the comedy I picked. And I'm mad that
You should be happy I went that high.
He gave it a 7.5.
Yeah,
That's
7.5.
high.
Sorry, yeah.
That is high.
If you think Price is being unreasonable, let us know in the comments below. If you like this content, make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit the bell. And other than that, make sure to tune in next week for I Am Legend. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Being very gender specific with our sign off.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
Hey!
Sorry, I just ruined your audio.
Have to read what?